Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
An attack at a Catholic church in Ohio left extensive damage and the priest called for a massive reparation. Immaculate Conception Church in Willoughby, Ohio, was left desecrated after an intoxicated 30-year-old Paynesville man caused extensive damage. The Willoughby Police Department released, at about 2 a.m. on August 12, units responded to the church. A man inside the church was holding a broken shovel handle and appeared to be bleeding from his right hand. According to the police, the man was highly intoxicated and was taken into custody after running out of the church. He was later identified as 30-year-old Eric Randall Beck. He is not a member of the church. According to the release, the man gained entry by accessing the 24-hour open chapel. He caused damage to the chapel area and then was able to get into the main area of the church. Multiple areas of the church including the altar and the candle stand were damaged and a trail of blood was visible, according to the release. He attempted to light a fire on the carpet leading up to the altar by pouring hand sanitizer on it. A large statue of the Virgin Mary outside the church was knocked over and damaged. The suspect was charged with felony breaking and entering, vandalism and arson with additional charges forthcoming, according to the release. The pastor Father Michael Troja wrote, "It was a busy week with all of the fallout from the desecration of our church building that took place in the early hours of last Saturday morning. The perpetrator was apprehended by the Willoughby police while he was fleeing from the church. The perpetrator was arraigned this past Monday in Willoughby Municipal Court. The diocesan insurance office was on the scene on Monday. The major expense from the damage to the church will be replacing the existing carpet in the church. The religious objects and stained glass windows that were damaged will be replaced." 3 of the local TV news crews were also on the scene this past Monday. I hope that their presentation of the news allowed people to know what happened to us. I had notified the bishop's staff on Saturday morning about the break-in and vandalism inside and outside the church. I also had sent an email to Father Don Alexiak, the moderator of the Curia, and he informed the bishop of what had taken place that morning. Bishop Malesic determined that the acts that took place in the church were a desecration due to the violent nature of the acts. Father Gary Janus, who is the judicial vicar, informed me late Saturday evening that Bishop Malesic had delegated me to perform a massive reparation that should be done before any other liturgical acts could take place in the church. Father McNeil and I went over to the church and did the reparation service and we sprinkled holy water throughout the church. Our church is sacred space. It is a holy place just like the shrines in the Holy Land or St. Peter's Basilica, or the basilicas in Fatima, Portugal or Lourdes, France. Our church is where we meet Jesus in the sacraments. It is where we come to talk to God in prayer. We as Catholics are called to do reparation for our own sins and the sins of others. The desecration of the church is a grave matter which calls for reparation. I have scheduled a massive reparation for August 26th, next Saturday morning at 8 a.m. in our church. This Mass will provide all of us with an opportunity to join in the act of reparation in the best way possible. I also ask all of you to do penance on Friday, August 25th, as part of the reparation. We are asked by the Church to do penance every Friday either by abstaining from meat on Fridays, or choosing another penance to do on Fridays. So do make an effort to join us in abstaining from meat or choosing another penance of you on this coming Friday. A priest from Alabama, USA, has been removed from ministry by his bishop. This was after he abandoned his parish to travel to Italy with an 18-year-old woman, to whom he described himself as married in a Valentine's Day letter. Father Alex Crow, age 30, and the unnamed woman are believed to have left Mobile, Alabama, on July 24. In the letter he writes, "I love you, and I thank Jesus for you every day. You have made my life both astronomically more complicated and incredibly better at the same time. You are his gift to me." This was as released by the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. Now, we are in love and we are married. I've never been in love before, and I've never been married, obviously, and I've never felt any of the feelings I have for you for anyone ever in my entire life. I promise that I will love you the absolute best I can, every single day. Father Crowe had been a parochial vicar at Corpus Christi Parish in Mobile and left behind a letter to the Archdiocese of Mobile that he would never return to the United States, according to the Sheriff's Office. The handwritten letter to the 2023 high school graduate shows that the priest planned for the couple to be in Italy together with our family and have many wonderful and normal Valentine's days. The Archdiocese released a Q&A on the situation on August 17. They wrote, in July, when it became clear that Alex Crowe had intended to abandon his assignment, Archbishop Rodi removed the faculties of Alex Crowe. He has also ordered him, under his promise of obedience, to return home immediately. A faculty is the priest's ability to function publicly as a priest. So that means Alex Crowe is not able to function as a priest publicly. He cannot preach, publicly say Mass, do weddings or funerals, or even hear confessions, except if a person is in danger of death. Archbishop Rodi is planning to pursue the dismissal of Alex Crowe from the priesthood. The local high school also released a statement. An important message from Principal Michelle Haas and President Father Bryce Shields: we were all stunned by the recent news regarding Alex Crowe. Contrary to what was reported, Mr. Crowe was never employed by McGill-Tulane Catholic High School. We welcome our priests to visit theology classes and hear confessions when they can. Mr. Crowe did visit some theology classrooms, and hear confessions during the period, September through December 2021. He also celebrated one school mass that year. He has not chaperoned any school trips or retreats. We will continue to pray for the families involved. Catholic University in Nicaragua is confiscated by the government as it was judged to be a center of terrorism. In a press conference, with the U.S. State Department, on August 17, Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel condemned the confiscation of the Catholic University. The Jesuits' University of Central America, UCA, in Managua, Nicaragua, was confiscated by the government on August 16. The university's bank accounts had been frozen by government officials on August 9. A letter issued by the judge who ordered the seizure described the university as a center of terrorism, accusing its administrators and educators of betraying the trust of the Nicaraguan people and of transgressing against the constitutional order. A statement from the Central American province of the Society of Jesus released on August 16 called the accusations against the Jesuits at UCA totally false and unfounded and described the university's seizure as part of government policy that is systematically violating human rights and aimed at consolidating a totalitarian state. In the statement, the Jesuits said this latest move against the university is part of a pattern of government oppression, unjustified attacks against the Nicaraguan population and other educational and social institutions of civil society that are generating a climate of violence and insecurity and exacerbating the country's socio-political crisis. Founded by the Jesuits in 1960, the university was the nation's first private institution of higher education. Before it was forced to suspend operations yesterday, there were approximately 9,500 undergrad and graduate students attending UCA. The Nicaraguan regime also prevented the return to Nicaragua of two priests who participated in World Youth Day in Lisbon, Portugal. They are Father Tomás Sergio Zamora, parish priest of the Nuestro Señor de los Milagros Church, of the Diocese of León and Chinandega, and Father William Mora, parish priest of the Cristo Rey, Christ the King, Church, of the Diocese of Sayuna. At the moment, the Nicaraguan authorities have not referred to this complaint, to which they generally do not respond. This was denounced by the exiled Nicaraguan researcher Martha Patricia Molina. Relations between the Sandinista government of Daniel Ortega and the Church are experiencing moments of great tension, marked by the expulsion and imprisonment of priests, the prohibition of religious activities, and the suspension of their diplomatic relations. The socio-political crisis broke out in this Central American nation in April 2018, including the expulsion of Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Managua, Silvio Baez, arrest of Bishop Alvarez, and expulsion of nuns. Hundreds have fled after several Christian churches were attacked in Pakistan for an alleged blasphemy against two Christian youths. The two Christians, Raja Umar and Rocky Masih, were accused of committing blasphemy by defaming the Quran, said James Remott, Executive Director of the Ecumenical Commission for Human Development, a faith-based charity. Some reports indicate about 25 churches were attacked, in total, with ongoing violence, and Christians are now living in fear. Christians have been falsely accused of desecrating the Quran in Pakistan's Punjab province, church leaders say. A Salvation Army church in Jaranwala was set on fire by Muslim radicals on August 16, following the allegations. A Muslim mob also attacked a Christian neighborhood in the same province, leaving 6 churches damaged, says a Christian leader. UCAN News reported that the mob raided 3 Presbyterian churches, a Catholic church, a Full Gospel Assembly church and a Salvation Army church with sticks, stones and explosives, adding that windows of the churches were smashed. Some portions of the churches were destroyed in arson attacks. In Jaranwala, more than 900 Christian families are fleeing and hiding in the fields with women, the elderly and children to save their lives. These people are terrified and need immediate relief and protection, says Vicar General Father Abid Tanvir. Archbishop Joseph Arsad, Archbishop of the Diocese of Rawalpindi Islamabad and President of the Pakistani Bishops' Conference, accompanied by the Bishop of Multan, Yusuf Sohan and several priests visited the victims. The Ecumenical Commission issued a statement condemning the attack on Christians. This is unfortunate that we are witnessing a resurgence of this barbarity right after Independence Day was celebrated by all the religious communities of the Islamic Republic, the statement said. We demand a thorough investigation of the announcements made through mosques. It shows that the majority has still not accepted us as equal citizens, it stated. Several videos circulated on social media platforms showed a Muslim cleric asking people to protest over the alleged desecration of Islam's holy book. The violence came after 3 local Muslims filed a complaint with local police alleging 2 Christians violated 2 sections of the blasphemy law. After getting the information, we confiscated the pages of the Quran on which blasphemous remarks were written in red pencil. A calendar was also drawn. The accused were at large, said Police Sub-Inspector Abbas Ali, who accepted the complaint. One section of the code punishes defaming the Quran with life imprisonment, while another mandates the death penalty for anyone convicted of defaming Prophet Muhammad. Church of Pakistan President Bishop Azad Marshall expressed shock over the violence via Twitter on August 16. The bishop wrote, "Words fail me as I write this. We, bishops, priests and lay people are deeply pained. A church building is being burnt as I type this message. Bibles have been desecrated and Christians have been tortured and harassed having been falsely accused of violating the Holy Quran," Marshall wrote. "We cry out for justice and action from law enforcement and those who dispense justice and the safety of all citizens to intervene immediately and assure us that our lives are valuable in our own homeland that has just celebrated independence and freedom," he added.
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.